What's going on, everybody? Wayne's Workshop here, and in this week's video I'm going to show you how to get this nice shiny finish on your foam piece. This is a foam piece, and all that without cracking. It's 100% flexible and still has that nice shine, and it's easier than you might think, so let's jump right into it. So how do you do it? This is how. First, we grab some of this acrylic caulking and to fill up our seams. The way I like to do it is to just put some on my finger and then push the caulking into any gaps that I might have in creases and in edges. Just get it all in there. And once you've done that on all of your foam pieces, then just dip your finger in some water and then use your wet finger to rub it across all of the excess caulking. And once acrylic caulking comes in contact with water, it's really easy to smooth out. Then leave that out to dry according to your acrylic caulking's label. So before we do any type of smearing or sealing on top of this, we have to heat seal our foam props first. Now I only do this lightly because contact glue, and if you're using hot glue, it's the same thing. It doesn't like heat, so only do a couple of passes. You can see when the cells are collapsed on your foam when you hit it with that heat gun. So just a few passes and it should be fine. So once it's all heat sealed, it's time to mix up a batch of our sealant, and for this one I'm using Roscoe's Flexbond by Cosplayshop Select Style, and I thin this with water around a 4 parts Flexbond to 1 part water. So let's say I'm using 100 milliliters of the Flexbond. That means I'm adding 25 milliliters of water. This gives it a texture that's not as thick as yogurt, just thinned down yogurt, I'd say. So if you have that texture, it's fine. Now, you can use this as is and it will seal just fine, but what I like to use is add some color pigments. These are just standard pigments used to tint latex house paint, and you can get them at your hardware store. They come in all sorts of colors. For my Shrike Ana, it had to be black, so I'm using black pigment. You don't need a lot, so just add a couple of good squeezes, mix it all up and mix it up good, also along the edges of your cup, because it tends to stick around. Now the Flexbond will still dry transparent, but because we added pigment to it, it will get a dark tone. Now it's time to whip out the brushes, and by that I mean foam brushes. And I use foam brushes to prevent those nasty brush streaks you get from normal paint brushes. So add your first layer of tinted Flexbond. Thin layers is the way to go to not get ugly drip lines. Let it dry and repeat this step 6 more times. Now here's where the beauty of the pigment comes in. Now that it's already really dark and also pretty sealed, I only need a thin layer of high gloss black Plasti-Dip to get it completely covered. I know in some countries they ask outrageous prices for this stuff, so with this method you can save some money by not buying like 5 or 6 cans. And once that is all dried, you get something like this, and you can just grab some masking tape and tape off certain pieces of your prop that need to be silver, like this here, or the Overwatch logo that I did. Now, if you're wondering if you're going to lose the shine if you completely paint a prop, then the answer is no, because this one has been done in the same way, and this has been airbrushed with Tamiya's chrome silver, and if I hold it against the light, you can still see there's a really good shine on this. And it's still super flexible without cracking. I can like bend it all the way like this, and because of the Flexbond, it doesn't crack, and because I painted it with airbrush by Tamiya, it's still this non-crack. If you want to know more, then check out this video above where I explain different types of sealing methods. And if you have something like this, this is a boot plate, and I went to a con last weekend, and this stuff can still be easily fixed with a heat gun, which I'll show you now. So here we can see that crease. So I grabbed my small tiny heat gun and I'm just going over this, keeping it moving and keeping it moving. Don't sit around on one spot for too long, otherwise your Plastidip and your sealing and your paint will burn and start to get really bubbly. So just move it over gently, and then slowly you can put it down, the heat gun, and like bend it a little bit, push it back, and already there's way less of a seam, and that is already looking much better. So that's how I did all my foam pieces. This is the knee guard. You can see there's a really big shine on this one, and it's all foam. This is just a couple of layers of flexbond tinted with black pigment for 6 layers, then add 1 thin layer of high gloss black Plastidip, and then just paint it as you normally would, and then you get this nice shiny finish on your foam, and you can bend it, you can throw it, and it doesn't matter. It will not break, and it shines, and that's the way I do it. Sorry for the inactivity. I was really busy finishing Shrike Ana. Some really nice pictures will be up soon, and now it's back to the normal schedule. I'll try to upload weekly videos again. Next week I will try to have the vacuum forming tutorial ready for all of you, so be sure to check that one out. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.